What's up, Dice Crew? Keeping it a Benji, and I'm getting back with y'all. Now we got ADAM22 sitting down with Brick Baby and Lush One on the No Jumper show, and they speaking on DW Flame. Adam is pretty much responding to DW Flame, saying that he was charging for interviews. He just pretty much, responding to the whole energy that DW Flame put out there pertaining to him pertaining to Adam canceling all them shows. So let's just tune in and see what's all gotta be said. Shout out to the Dice Crew. I'm gonna keep it a Benji for y'all like I always do. Y'all keep it a Benji for me in the comments. And shout out to the sponsors, Yard Down Bullies. I'm gonna have a link in the description so y'all can tune in with them. Let's rock.
DW seemed to take more offense to recent changes with No Jumper than essentially anybody else. He blamed it on the fact that he said he didn't get a phone call. I told him I did call him, and I have it in my call log still that I tried to call him. But he definitely took it more personal, the recent changes in terms of No Jumper, than other people. And
I mean, so far, what's meeting the public eye is DW Flame being the most angriest person that's, who like fired or whatnot. But if DW Flame literally feel like it was foul in his mind because he didn't receive a call or he missed a call, but he didn't talk to Adam prior to him just making it public about canceling the shows and stuff, then I can see him feeling in some type of way.
And he went on Instagram Live and he made a couple of different statements. And I realized that some of these statements have, caused quite a bit of commotion within our fan base and our culture, our universe out here. And so the two main first statements that he made is, number one, he said some stuff about Adam, you don't want to pay a black man his money because he got shot at No Jumper, yada, yada, which that to me was very concerning because I know what DW knows, and I know that DW, just like every single other person in this office, knows that nobody got shot at No Jumper. So that right there made me think, maybe I kind of misjudged you because it really didn't take a lot for you to come on here and start lying.
Yeah.
And you guys know, and I would.
And I mean, that's one of the thoughts that I was having. Like, I feel like DW Flame jumped out the window too fast because in the long run, you like burning a bridge that situation was really still open. Like, it wasn't no real direct issue. And maybe if anybody was missing or couldn't be booked, or he might bring you on to do whatever. You never know. But I feel like he just was upset and he just burnt that bridge. But we gonna see. Come on.
Not sit here and point at you and say you guys know, but you know that what I'm saying is true and that nobody got shot at No Jumper. So to see somebody like very quickly decide that they want to start pushing the narrative that somebody did get shot at No Jumper, I'm like, that's weird. That's very surprising to me. I didn't think that you would do that, and I don't think that many people are really going for it. But there was another statement he made, which we can get into in the future, but there was another statement he made basically bragging about how he was accepting money from people to appear on No Jumper, and he seemed very proud of this. And he deleted it soon after, possibly because he might have kind of realized that this was essentially like him admitting to stealing, bragging about stealing. I thought it was like a weird thing for him to be so triumphant about, but I understand that this kind of...
Shouts to that embezzlement flick.
And I spoke on it already, but like, I don't look at it like DW Flame was stealing. I feel like he was running his business how he wanted to run his platform, meaning his episode of the CEO podcast. If people wanted to pay and they was willing to pay, then hey, he not really stealing. And also, if Adam, you never told him not to do that, then he's not really doing anything wrong.
So let's get it.
I mean, I was impressed. I was like, wow, I didn't see either of these statements coming.
Yo, wait.
That was a little surprising.
So, how is... That's what I'm saying. When you leave and you get the speaking on stuff that you think is just a side play and shit that's going on, you don't know how that's fucking up your life in the long run. You get what I'm trying to tell you? Like him
trying to get them clips off.
Just getting the clips off, and it's like, damn, if Adam really wanted to do some bullshit to me right now, like you really can. Like, you get what I'm saying?
Do we
Keep it
think
up.
he was like serious? Like, is it possible that?
I mean, do you believe that anyone would spend $5,000 to go on his podcast? I don't know. It's kind of like, it depends on how much money that person had.
You know what? If they're like, so I could see for sure people being down for that. Just,
I can see people being down for that, just like Lush said, but I don't know. I didn't really watch every interview and tune in with every episode or something, because I didn't see nobody that, I don't know, I didn't see all the guests or whatever. I just can't recall at this moment, you know? But like I said, you know, it's a big platform, 5 million subscribers. If you feel like, if you really believe in whatever you got going on, I can see you paying, you know, he said he charging $2,500, $5,000 and stuff like that. So I can see people paying something like that.
No,
it's like if
5,000.
I can't say it for a specific number, but I know that people are like, they want that no jumper cloud so bad. And if all it took was an investment, like, hell yeah, 5 seems a little bit high. You know what I mean? Like if you spend 5 G's, I would, me personally, if I'm like a company, I'd want to get a couple million impressions off that.
But you
know what
already
I mean?
know that he's not going to say the actual amount that he got.
Yeah.
He's going to take the actual amount that he got from somebody to appear on the podcast, and he's going to
Multiply
multiply it by 4 or 5.
Or 10.
Realistically, maybe 10. We don't know. Because, look, it is an easy setup. And, like, this reminds me of a conversation I had with my poker coach recently, bbzpoker.com. He mentioned to me how he runs like staking business, right? So if like you're good at playing poker, but you don't got enough money, he'll give you 10 grand, he'll give you 20 grand, whatever. You play poker using his money, and if you make money, then he gets a split of it. If you lose money, then you're in debt, whatever.
So he's a futuristic bookie accommodating the needs of the time.
Exactly. But then he also coaches these people, helps make them better, whatever. They have a cool relationship, and he's been doing this for a long time. And in the early days,
his name Adam?
No, his name's Jordan.
Okay.
And in the early days of his business, he told me that a lot of people would run off on him. Like they would just run up a bill, not pay him, etc. And he said that they would, like, that he can't, in retrospect, blame them for doing that, because he created an environment in which there was so little bookkeeping going on with these people that is basically like, if you create an environment in which it's too easy for somebody to steal, you kind of can't blame them for stealing.
Well, fools run off on a Visa tab all the time. That's a daily occurrence.
What's a Visa tab?
Like I'm
Their
saying,
credit card bill.
Yeah, like 15 bands or 20 bands of Visa skirt. You feel me? Like 7 years that shit finna get cleared. Like whatever. Like fuck it. Like just you're like, I'm sure we all know multiple people.
But the thing is that if you, like, the environment that we created with the fucking weekly pods there is like, it was such a free for all. It was such a bring whoever the fuck you want on. That it's like there's no accountability. Like none of us are like chiming in and saying like, hey, that guy that you brought on the podcast sucked. It seemed like he might have been paying you to appear on the podcast, whatever. Like we weren't doing any of that. And as a result, like I kind of almost can't blame him if he was doing that, because
it's genius.
There's just so little accountability that I was a little shocked. But you seemed like you were potentially saying that you felt like what he was doing by bringing those issues to the table was kind of federale-ish.
What I was saying.
Clarify.
Yeah, what I was saying, because police-wise, I wasn't saying nothing about court.
Right, of course, yeah.
The conversation was on fake telling.
Yeah.
Sharp was like, well, Compa passed me the phone and like, is this telling? Is this telling?
Yeah. Right.
So like questionable telling type shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like me.
So for example, if someone else hypothetically was running a similar jug over a year, now the attention has been brought to the powers that be that could. Powers that be that could.
And I'm like, when you leave somewhere and you just get to doing shit like that, you get what I'm saying, and you talk, but you let because at the end I said, you my brother, don't let your emotions get you to talk about shit that ain't it, because it's not true, but then like that could possibly get to some other shit. You get what I'm saying? But in a manner of me not saying like, hey, you a police snitching ass nigga, like nigga put him off, he's a snitch. The conversation was on fake time.
Yeah, but of course people are gonna take that and
they
like,
gonna take that here. So it was like I'm like, can you talk about it?
DW's not stupid, bro. Like he's smart enough to be able to read between the lines. He's been in like the media space.
Like he said everything public record, but it's not, because none of us from the office, we never talked about the situation, period, whatever.
I mean, you know, Brick definitely got a point right there.
The fuck type of situation that happened, whoever did know something, and nobody got shot, but whatever the fuck that was going on, and then for somebody to confirm, like, all right, the security guard up here or something, or say that
Because he was throwing somebody else under the bus right there, which is like, that person was always solid with me, so I never wanted to like put their business out there or talk about anything that was going on with this person. So like, the idea of like exposing the circumstances, it's like, that's not cool, because then that person's gonna have a harder time in life, and he didn't do nothing to involve himself in, well, besides the obvious, he didn't do anything to involve himself in this fucking situation. He doesn't deserve to be called out like that. I thought that was kind of lame to like throw his business out there.
Well, obviously he like has a certain level of disdain for him because just the way he talked about him in that clip, you know what I mean? Like, so like,
but this is something I would have brought up in a jokingly manner if he would have been right here, like, damn, cuz you think that you said that was cool, like, nigga, da 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 da, like, you know what I'm saying, like, not saying that you was, so when I said snitch, it just automatically clipped, oh, Brick Baby's calling him a snitch. Like, nigga, you didn't go to the police and do no weird shit. Like, because in the gang world, that word's so sensitive. You get what I'm saying? I didn't mean to call him a snitch, but I was like, basically, like, that ain't straight. Like, okay. You get what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Totally at the end of the day.
I heard a couple different versions of it, though. I heard Brick Baby is mad that DW exposed the way that people got paid, or like saying that people ain't really getting paid in No Jumper. I heard people saying Brick Baby is mad because DW exposed the shit about Mustard Man and security or whatever. And I heard people saying Brick Baby is mad because he snitched on the jug of taking money for interviews, because Brick Baby is doing that as well.
Listen,
that's just a theory that a few people hit me with.
Number 1 and 3 are essentially the same thing with a little extra on it. That's the Parmesan on the fucking, you know.
Brick Baby is mad because you are leaving. I'm not even mad, first and foremost. I'm not mad. I'm just going back because you said niggas ain't getting no chili up there. Like, you don't know what niggas doing up here.
Yeah, you know, and Brick specifically said, and that's to reference the second point, like, Brick specifically said on the Sharp's pod the other day, Brick said, like, everybody has their own arrangement. Really, like, I don't know what Brick makes over here. I don't know. It's not my business.
And that's pretty much what I thought too. You know, I really didn't think that like DW Flame knew what everybody else business arrangement was.
It's like, what did Hope say? Well, you eat don't make me shit.
And what you're getting at right now is you're saying that you have a contract and that he was getting paid per individual piece of content, which, to be totally fair, like, that is kind of like how it goes, is that people come around and we pay them for individual pieces of content, and then at some point, if it becomes obvious, like, oh, we want to have this person on a consistent schedule, I want to be able to rely on them X amount of times per month, etc., then we're going to put them on contract. The thing with DW is he didn't really, like, stick around long enough or really, like, create that value where I was dying to give him a contract. Because I'm going to be real with you, like, his podcast, like, I got to give him credit. He showed up, he did it. P Nice has a lot of potential as a podcaster and shit. I think everybody agrees that P Nice got a future as a podcaster and everything like that. But also, DW was incapable of putting a stop to the swearing in the beginning part of the podcast. I think that he might have been the most consistently demonetized podcaster in the history of No Jumper. Like, literally every single episode.
He has some dope guests, though.
He did. He got some good guests.
Nick Cannon, Justina Valentine.
The ones who didn't pay, exactly. But
Justina Valentine from 10 racks. Yeah. That's from a promo budget.
Nah, but you know what I'm saying? Like, he like, there was just kind of a lack of professional. Like, I can't blame him 100% for getting every single episode.
I mean, those was 2 great interviews, like, just based upon who Nick Cannon is and who she is.
Monetized, aside from the fact that, like, he always was a person who had a very hard time not swearing. But then on top of that, it's like the views weren't really, like, looking too astounding. It kept going down every single month. Like, if he wanted to make a push to, like, get a contract and be, like, consistently on the podcast and everything, for sure we could have got to that point, but it would have had to be something that, like, you have to be, like, kind of bringing an audience to a certain regardless, have developed a fan base that's going to watch on the channel, right?
Like, regardless of that, like, he's been in the industry long enough to know that ultimately you have to have those conversations with upper management and whoever the financial team, which there is in place at No Jumper. You know who to talk to about that. So if you want to get that situation cracking for yourself, or you want to change whatever financial arrangement you have in place, holler at the man. You feel me? You know who to talk to.
And I was just I was a little insulted because he's talking about motherfuckers ain't getting no chili, rah, rah, rah. And it's like, bro, I'm out. Like, on that podcast, I don't know how many episodes it was probably 10 episodes. Whatever I paid you is what I'm out. Because every single one lost money, like, big Every single one. Like, you know, it's just, it wasn't getting any views, and it was getting demonetized on every single one. So what the fuck are we talking about? Like, you know, this has to make sense for the business as well. Even like breaking even is like a decent outcome. But we weren't doing that. We were like just paying you on the premise that this might start getting more views as time goes by. And, you know, I mean, if he was really that confident, it's like, why don't you just go do it on your own or do it for like another platform or something? Because like if you were really bringing that much value to the platform, then you should probably have all kinds of other options as well, right?
I mean, he low-key, in that same live he did allude to the fact that, like, yo, I'm really, like, podcasting, like, it was cool, like, I enjoyed it, like, ain't really my thing, I gotta get back to this rapping. I'm glad that I was able to shed some light on my boy P Nice, you feel me? Yeah. And I honestly, like, I thought that was dope, ultimately.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I do think that DW has potential as a podcaster, absolutely, but, like, I feel like P Nice seems way more passionate about it, and, like, he could actually go very...
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
They say that he had a passion for it before.
Yeah.
So it either
Be
went
nice already then?
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
So I mean, he didn't have a podcast, but I guess him and his brother used to always.
Well, and DW did want to, like, I know he had an interest in it because I had DW on my pod last, like, summer, you feel me?
Yeah.
Because that's the homie. It's like, so I had him on the pod, and he was all, like, he had hit me up, like, what's up? Let's do another show. Let's do shows. And I was like, damn, the way my pod, is low-key equipped isn't based at that time on continual guests, so I didn't really know how to, like, you know, make it make sense because it was more just an interview-based podcast at the time.
Yeah.
But him, so it's like he had that interest in it. So like when I saw him land in No Jumper, at first I was juiced. So I was like, hell yeah, DW, like that's exactly what you should do. And like, what a better platform for you to be on. But when I saw like the whole, I don't know if crash out's the word, but the perturbance he was exhibiting on the microphone afterwards, and just like the animosity he had towards the situation.
Talking about bad bitch gate.
Way after Bad Bitch Gate. Way after Bad Bitch Gate.
When I think about that now, I am like,
Sad
how did I think that was gonna go?
Yeah, it wasn't like you was talking to me. You felt like you were talking to me.
No, but that's
Like,
the thing.
you
Like,
know,
I guess I didn't know him as well as that.
Now, you know everybody gonna eat Brick Baby up behind that. I don't know why he even said that, but it's like, you know, you shouldn't even be in this type of conversation where another man referred to another man as a bad B word. You should insert yourself and be saying like, man, you thought you was talking to me, like alluding to the fact that like he have called you something like this before, or that specifically, or just you wouldn't mind. You know what I mean? Like you giving them type of vibes, and I feel like that's gonna be an L for Brick Baby to just say that.
So I didn't really think of it as going the way that it went. Like I didn't know it was gonna go like that. But when I think about it now, I'm like, why did I try that one? Like, that does seem kind of ambitious.
You clearly, but I really don't think, I didn't take it as, I just saw that as Adam being Adam. Like, I don't think there's anyone that's ever been a cast member of the No Jumper show that you wouldn't feel.
Because I would have said that to somebody like you, and you would have fucking laughed, and you would have taken that joke.
Yeah,
even AD would get kind of sensitive about certain things, but even AD would have, like, worst case scenario, would have been like, bitch, what you say?
Those fools would call each other bitch more than people.
That's a good point, yeah.
More than people from Dallas.
They were very into roasting in general, yeah.
Like, you know the way Dallas fools, and they would be like, you know how fools out there literally talk like, hey, bitch, as like slang, and it's not meant in a disrespectful way. That's
People from Louisiana be doing that too, if y'all pay attention.
how often those fools on at the end of the week, they would
End of the week.
constantly, you feel me?
But I mean, you definitely want to know what environment you are in, because you land in the wrong environment using those type of words with other men, you gonna have a problem. You know, it's even certain women that don't even play those games with other women. So you better know who you dealing with when you start saying these type of things. I wouldn't even practice that and make that a habit anyway, you know. But like I said, I understand in certain places that being they kind of vocabulary for a while.
At the end of the day, you know what I'm talking about? Like, hey, it was a weekly show.
Yo, but like
Probably would've been better.
WEAK?
Yeah, at the end of the week.
Wait, that's not even that funny. Never mind. That would have been like, it would have been something.
So, and then to address the selling the interviews, right?
Right.
I do more paid interviews with me leaving.
When you go to other people's platforms,
Yeah,
right?
so it's like I barely do interviews by myself in order to sell them. Because I just start trying to neck them, like pause, like take it. You know what I'm saying? Do it by myself. So it's like you.
But I feel like I kind of got you onto that hustle too, because as soon as you did No Jumper, I remember you talking to me about how you were trying to like get into doing more content, or like more shit in general.
Yeah.
And I remember at that time being like, I don't know if No Jumper's like really got room for more hosts right now, but I set you up with Cam Capone.
Yeah.
Okay, was it Cam Capone?
Because I told him, I'm
before
like,
No
if
Jumper?
you go on Cam Capone after No Jumper, it'll like really kind of get you more in the mix. So it'll look like you fucking with a bunch of different shit. You know?
Man, that was smart for Adam to do, you know, and that was cool because that did play a big part of Brick Baby just being able to put his whole personality out there in the content space.
Set you off like high key.
Yeah.
I didn't even
Like,
think about that. That's exactly
I remember
what
where I
happened.
was when I had that conversation. I was at Riley Reed's house at
Fire.
some sort of birthday party thing.
Shouts to one of the goats.
That's
I
crazy.
still beat off to her.